that. Not at Vince didn't want it at first, but the amount of money that's going to come with them doing the broken gimmick is something that he cannot ignore.
Well, I mean, they're planning on splitting them up anyway. They're planning on putting them on singles runs at some point.
And what better way to do that than to have broken Matt Hardy?
Well,
broken
I don't
Matt
know.
Hardy is the only way that Matt Hardy will get over in a single. And I hate to say that to anyone who's a Matt Hardy fan, but based on his record in singles competition in WWE in the past, the broken gimmick is the only way he'll get over.
That really, I do hate to hear that because I'm one of those rare people back in the day that actually liked Matt a little bit better than Jeff. I thought he was very underrated.
Well, you got to agree with me though. I mean, come on.
At this current point in time, yeah. If they hadn't had the broken gimmick, then yeah, maybe they'd been okay. But since that's something that's in Matt Hardy's past, at some point you got to bring those fans in with the gimmick. But I just don't know if they're going to pull the trigger.
I think the reason why, Vince McMahon's not interested in the gimmick is because it's not one of his. He didn't create it. He doesn't.
And it's not something he'd be able to control.
Exactly. He doesn't want. He doesn't want something that he didn't create to get over. Like think back to 2002 when they brought in the NWO. Look how quickly they got buried at WrestleMania because that wasn't Vince's creation. He's not going to let that get over.
Plus, the NWO was sort of the reason for WCW's demise, and I'm sure Vince didn't want to go that route.
Oh yeah.
All right, so moving on, we have.
I was gonna mention before I get into that.
Right,
I just can't believe this whole feud between Cesaro and Sheamus against the Hardys. I cannot believe how one-sided this thing has been. I mean, the Hardys have yet to lose a match, whether it be as a tag team or as Jeff or Matt in a singles match. Kind of really surprised by that.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I say the first match they lose is probably going to be when they lose the tag team titles. So, go on.
But do they lose it to Sheamus and Cesaro? That was the question.
It's the only logical tag team right now that they could lose it to.
Nah, I think they're gonna hold on until DIY the revival end up getting up into the picture.
Believe it or not, and I know some of you probably know this and some of you don't, but Matt and Jeff Hardy have been pushing Vince McMahon and Triple H to bring in the Young Bucks. They want the Young Bucks to be in WWE so badly.
Well, if Adam Cole's coming over, it only makes sense.
It would, but the only problem for Matt and Jeff would be that if the Young Bucks do come in, they'd probably go to NXT.
Yeah. Well, they more than likely would have to.
Because Matt says that they can get so much money, so much good matches between the Hardy Boys and the Young Bucks. So much good stuff out of that.
They've only had one match with them, haven't they?
Yeah, but all it takes is one match for you to know if you're going to have good matches with them or not.
Yeah, good point.
So, anyways, as we're switching gears here to Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks.
Alicia Fox.
Why is this even a feud?
I know why, because this is how they're going to reintroduce Cedric Alexander back. Cedric Alexander could be the next quote-unquote on-screen boyfriend for Sasha Banks.
That's funny because she's married in real life.
Exactly.
What do you mean? What do you mean next boyfriend though? I mean, the only one I could think of that they even teased was Enzo Amore.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't follow her down in NXT. I don't know if she was a manager for anybody down there.
It's just a habit to say next. But yeah, Anyway, the match. I don't even remember who won.
It was Sasha.
It was Alicia Fox.
Okay,
Sasha won on Raw this past Monday night on Raw.
Yeah, so then it's 1-1.
No, that was the third match because 2 weeks ago they had a match.
Oh no, wait, you're right.
They gave it to Sasha, but apparently Alicia Fox had her had her arm underneath the rope, which should have been a rope break. They didn't call it, so they had.
No, she had her shoulder up
Her
too.
shoulder came up.
Okay, something like that. And then the next week they had a rematch. They gave a win to Alicia Fox, and then
Cleanly,
a clean win over. Yeah, which was nice to see. And then this week they just gave Sasha another win. So I don't really get where they're going with this.
I don't either. I mean, it just seems like filler to me. There's not a whole lot of a storyline. The only storyline there was apparently there was something that Sasha said about Alicia, and so we're gonna fight every week.
You know, at first I thought, maybe they're gonna have this kind of feud to make it to where, Alicia keeps beating Sasha somehow, and then Sasha eventually just gets really fed up with it and pissed off, and eventually turns heel, which everybody's been wanting to see for how many months now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, a lot of people thought we were going to be seeing, the Sasha Banks versus Bayley at SummerSlam. It seems like Sasha's kind of taken a detour, so I don't know if they're going to bring Sasha back into the picture of, potentially turning on Bayley or not, because right now, both are going two entirely separate roads. The only thing I could possibly see is, we've got Extreme Rules. There's no DQs, so maybe something there, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, but if Sasha was gonna turn on Bayley, then is she gonna go out there and cost Bayley the title? I mean, what kind of sense would that make if she wants a title match with Bayley?
It's not even a title match.
Right. I mean, but
it's just a kendo stick on a pole match. There's no title on the line.
Yeah, it is.
Is the title on the line?
Yeah, the Alexa Bliss and Bayley match. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. It's a kendo stick on a pole match for the Raw Women's
That makes no sense.
It really doesn't. I don't know why WWE is doing that.
So did they hire back Vince Russo without anybody knowing?
So let's switch gears again and talk about Kyle's favorite, Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James.
We could talk about her the rest of the show for all that'd be fine with me.
No, Kyle, no. So, anyways. Alexa she beat Mickie James, and then proceeded to attack her with the kendo stick as well. So I'm glad to see that WWE is letting the women get into using weapons nowadays.
Yeah,
well, I mean they've already, like I said, they're rumoring the potential of the first ever Money in the Bank women's ladder match. So, yeah, they're seeming to branch out, delve out a little bit more experimentation at the Hell in a Cell match with Banks and Charlotte. So, yeah, I'm glad to be seeing this too. The only thing is, don't really understand Bayley coming out and helping Mickie James.
Just because it was Alexa attacking her. I mean, that's her rival right now.
Well, then why didn't Bayley run out with a kendo stick in her hand? I mean,
that's what I was kind of thinking was going to happen. That it's going to be the traditional "you hit me, I hit you back" thing.
Yeah.
That's my problem with the way they've been booking Bayley. I know she's booked as a hugger and a super nice girl, but they need to give her some aggression or something because it's kind of
to ask her to talk to John Cena about ruthless aggression.
I mean, this whole. I don't even know how to describe it, but this whole character with Bayley, it's gotten kind of stale, I think, and I think that's kind of why...
They need to have Alexa Bliss grab Izzy out of the crowd, bring her to the ring, start beating her up with the kendo stick, then we'll finally see the aggression that Bayley wants. That we want.
Jesus Christ, Seth. Fuck it, this is a little girl.
Yes, an annoying little girl.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing that we didn't get hired to have to write for WWE.
I would turn that down before you even turn that in.
Get called by Child Protective Services.
But one thing I don't understand here...
Sir, I heard you like to beat little children, but I don't even have children.
Well, one thing I don't understand for the last however many months that Mickie James has been back with WWE... How come whenever her music hits, it seems like she gets no crowd reaction whatsoever?
Because nobody cares.
I don't understand that though.
He hasn't been booked well.
Yeah, she really hasn't. She
All
got
she's done is been Alexa Bliss's sidekick, gotten beaten up by Alexa Bliss, come over to Raw, and done nothing.
I'll tell you what, she got a decent pop at NXT Takeover Canada when she returned to face
Against Asuka.
Oksana.
That's the
I
only.
almost said Oksana.
Wow.
Oksana, wow.
But what was the worst thing ever was the fact that they spoiled it and said that her next opponent was going to be Mickie James. What they should have did was have Asuka have an open challenge and Mickie James return out of nowhere. That's what they should do now.
The psycho from Lithuania.
I'll tell you this right now. Asuka is going to hold on to that NXT Women's Championship until hopefully the end of this WWE Mae Young Women's Tournament. That's what's going to happen because this is what's going to rejuvenate the women's division.
When is that? That's like July 13th and 14th, right?
Yeah.
Sometime this summer. Yeah, I don't know.
When are they going to be making the announcements of who's in that?
I'm not sure.
What I want to know is this going to be all like up and coming talent, or are we going to have some
July
like
13th and 14th, or is it?
I think that's what I read today.
Could be June. I don't know.
I think it's July.
Well, then that's going to be another 2 months of Asuka holding on to that title.
The only other way I can see them, taking the belt off Asuka, the only other person I could see having beat her is Ember Moon, which I really thought they were going to do at the last takeover.
I think she was supposed to do it at this takeover, but she got injured.
Was she actually supposed to, or was she just to partake?
She might have been able to beat Asuka, but she got injured in the match, a battle royal or whatever.
Right. And there was no way they were going to put it on Nikki Cross or Ruby Riott.
Nikki Cross, she's done a lot of good stuff. I thought she came over from TNA, but no, she didn't. She came over from a different company. I don't remember what the name of the company was. And I also want to quickly fill you guys in on this. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but there is a new voice of WWE, and his name is Vic Joseph.
What's he on?
He made his play-by-play debut on WWE Main Event.
Huh.
And to answer your question, actually, she had a stint in 2014 at TNA, did Nikki Cross, but for the most part, she spent it in a lot of the independent circuit. She actually was with Global Force for a while.
Alright.
But from 08 to 15, she was in a lot of the independent circuit.
Alright, we got a couple more matches to do because we got to wrap this up soon. We have Elias Sampson finally making his debut against Dean Ambrose on Monday Night Raw. That was definitely something.
I'm starting to wonder, what was the point of Elias Sampson to just show up at random places with a guitar? But no, he actually does wrestle, so that's nice to see.
He was known in NXT as the Drifter. So.
He certainly lived up to that gimmick so far.
Seth, your 2 cents?
The only thing I'm wondering is now that he was gifted, if you will, the win by DQ over Dean Ambrose because The Miz attacked Elias Sampson, if now we got another Miz sidekick like an Alex Riley. I'm hoping not, but I don't understand where this is going to put Elias.
I don't think they'll go that route again.
I don't know where they're going to put him. It almost looks like he'd be perfect to be another member of the Wyatt family, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
No, God, please. Alright, and then we got
But Bray Wyatt can sing He's Got the Whole World, and Elias can play the guitar.
Yeah, there you go.
So, and then we got Mr. Popular himself versus Bray Wyatt. And that was a match.
Mr. Popular himself? You mean The Rock took on Bray Wyatt?
No, Roman Reigns took on Bray Wyatt, and at the end was interrupted by Samoa Joe.
Which was then interrupted by Seth Rollins, and then the powers that be used their best Teddy Long impersonation, took all 4 of them and put them in a tag team match, playa.
At least they didn't have to go one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Just needed Dean Ambrose and we'd have had a Shield reunion.
Right? Too bad he was in a match. Too bad he had to go against the Drifter.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the way this is going in terms of, the Fatal 5-Way they're going to have, but the chemistry's just not there for me. I don't know why. For one thing, we didn't even get to see Balor until, he ended up having a match later on. So he was kind of the odd man out, which says to me he's going to be the number one contender afterwards. But
who? Finn Balor?
Yeah.
Oh, based on what based on what Paul Heyman said?
Well, not only that, but if he wasn't going to be, I think he would have been in the tag team match. The odd man out, I think, is the one they pegged for being the number one contender.
Yeah, and that's why you saw Finn at the end of the show tell Kurt next time, don't leave me out.
Yeah.
What Paul Heyman, showing once again why he is the best talker in this business, came out...
Without doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt, came out, and the stuff he said to Finn Balor was grade A material. that's.
And I loved how Finn Balor... I love the human side of Finn Balor. He messed up on his promo, and he was just chuckling to himself like, I failed.
What was that he said?
I loved that.
What did he say again? I
forgot. But I thought, that was great. Just play it off. There's a human side. Don't be a machine.
Who, Finn? Yeah.
I think I remember Triple H doing that one time on Raw. He didn't really flub a promo, but he was like referring to like a footage that they were about that they were supposed to show, and they didn't do it right away or something. And he's like, well, it's live TV. We're just gonna wing it or something. I thought that was weird. So it kind of reminded me of that.
It was a DX moment with him and Shawn. I remember that.
But you talk about flubs with the production. Anybody notice during the main event, the tag team match, which with Wyatt and Samoa Joe against Reigns and Rollins, how they kind of jumped the gun a little too soon when playing Rollins' music before when they were really supposed to play Samoa Joe's music?
I did not see that.
I did not see that at all. So they played Rollins' music, but it was supposed to be Samoa Joe's, right?
They started playing Rollins' music, and then they immediately stopped it and played Samoa Joe's music instead. Yes, so a big botch on the production part.
Yeah, I bet
we'll just chalk it up to tribal drums at the beginning.
No, it was Kevin Dunn.
No, they played like they played like from like 5 to 10 seconds of Rollins music before they finally realized what they had done, and they quickly switched to Samoa Joe's.
Right, and here we go. Oh no, crap! That is totally not Samoa Joe's. I can only imagine what was going on backstage in the gorilla position.
Somebody got fired.
I wonder if they were laughing. Laughing like, ha, ha, he's totally fired.
Word, Samoa Joe is the Kingslayer after all.
It was an episode of Swerved. Someone comes out,
and then Rollins comes out to Samoa Joe's music, and then he just walks up to Roman Reigns like, "Hey, I'm the Samoan submission machine."
You're right.
This isn't a dark match. What are they doing?
I would say that to Vince. I'm like, Vince, if I ever have a dark match, I want to do the most hilarious stuff possible. Like, have me come out to a different entrance music, and I'll totally imitate them.
You're gonna climb out from under the ring and run to the back like Bray Wyatt did.
Yeah, right. No, or it'd be like the old NXT days, and have Finn Balor come out to Bayley's music and all dressed up as Bayley.
Oh yeah.
Have them two dance to "The Time of My Life" again.
They need to pair those two up somehow on Raw. They got them both on the same show. Those two had great chemistry down on NXT. Like, why don't they do that? I think they would get super
they only
over
had
if they
great
did that.
chemistry because it was house shows, where they can do anything they want and not have to worry about TV. Alright, anything else you guys want to say, or are we pretty much done to wrap this up?
Oh, I thought Roman Reigns was coming out. That's why everything was dead silence, but okay.
a mix from the cruiserweight matches, which nobody really cares about. But I think was there only one cruiserweight match? That was Austin Aries and Tony Nese. Oh yeah, and Akira Tozawa and Daivari.
And Daivari.
Yeah, which is funny. I said this to Kyle during the match. I said, so if they're going to give Jinder Mahal the WWE Championship because he's supposed to be from India, so then why not just give the Cruiserweight Championship to Daivari?
Yeah, really. That'd make more sense.
So then he can brag to Muhammad Hassan, say, "Ha, I was your translator, but now I'm Cruiserweight Champion."
And then Mahal and Daivari become a tag team.
Oh my God.
They'll be one man for the 2-man power trip version 2.0.
Yeah, 2-man power. Yep, with the Singh brothers as backup.
Yes.
Well, I think that other than what Goldust says, which I don't really think anybody really cares, despite the fact that Goldust is on his way out of the company for towards retirement.
I hope that's not the case, but I like what they're doing with Goldust. Going old school with them. The 24 karat productions and being like a director of some sort. That's kind of cool. I don't
formerly known as Goldust.
Yeah. I mean, we all know what the match for the pre-show is going to be for Extreme Rules, but still.
Yeah, that's a good point. Alright, well, I think that about covers it for the podcast here, for our very first podcast. We've been going for a little over an hour, and hopefully we can keep up the hour-long podcasts for our weekly reviews here. I'd like to once again thank Seth and Kyle for joining me as my co-host. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Alright, and this should come up on either a Thursday or a Friday, so we'll see you guys then, and we'll see you guys next week for another edition of WWE Weekly Wrestling Podcast, where we are the Fans Podcast. See you guys later.